24 hours. NBC5's Christian Farr has more on the reaction from the Muslim community. Christian.
Marion, as a result of those threats, most mosques across the Chicago area have stepped up security. Local Muslim leaders condemn the actions of the shooter, and they stand with the LGBT community here in Chicago and across the country.
Any nut job with a gun can grab attention.
Ahmed Rehab says all Muslims should not be defined by the actions of one after that tragic mass shooting in Orlando yesterday.
So this was a disturbed individual, and now because he's Muslim and his name is Omar, the narrative is Islam to blame.
Rehab serves as the executive director for the Council on American Islamic Relations in Chicago, and Rehab says some mosques in the Chicago area have received threats in the wake of the mass shooting.
Threats against local mosques, vile, hate messages and threats that disturb the community. It's a drop in the bucket as to what happened with the LGBT community over the weekend.
The Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago says the Islamic centers of Naperville and Wheaton have also received email threats, which have prompted an increase in security at mosques across the Chicago area.
I know that every mosque has at least added one police officer, off-duty police officer, at the mosque in order to enhance the security.
As they deal with these threats, Rehab says CAIR-Chicago and others have been raising money and holding blood drives to help those affected by this tragedy.
So there's been a lot of work being done on the ground to try to undo a little bit of the hate and the hurt and the agony that this evil individual committed over the weekend.
This afternoon, Rehab also took issue with Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump's repeated calls for a ban on Muslim immigrants, which Trump once again asked for after this mass shooting. Rehab considers Trump's remarks anti-American. Rob?
And Christian, Chicago Archbishop Blaise Supich released a statement today about the terror attack in Orlando. It said, in part, "Let our shared grief and our common faith in Jesus, who called the persecuted blessed, unite us so hatred and intolerance are not allowed to flourish, so that we find the courage to face forthrightly the falsehood that weapons of combat belong anywhere in the civilian population." End of quote. Many of us are watching this tragedy and wondering how we can help. From giving blood to donating money, there are plenty of ways to do that. We'll